Fright is a Possible Possum Terrytoons cartoon from 1965. This is directed by Connie Rasinski, written by Larz, Bourne, with a voice cast including Lionel Wilson, Herschel Bernardi, and Cecil Roy. And this is actually, to my knowledge, the first Possible Possum cartoon, but it's the second one that I'm seeing, and I think it would make a pretty decent introduction to the characters. Kind of wish it's the first one that I'd seen, but regardless of that, even if it's the second one, I enjoyed this one. What I will say, before I say anything else, is that it's quite slow. And I don't necessarily mean the pacing of the narrative. The pacing is okay. I mean visually. The animation is quite slow. We have some quite fast action. We have various things on wheels, for example. I won't spoil it too much, although you can probably guess based on the title. But even when we're watching the motion of those things on wheels or the characters in those situations, apart from one moment, it's still very slow. The actual movement of the animation is quite slow. So it's not necessarily slow in pace, but it is quite a gentle experience. And I think it works well. I don't know if this is a common theme throughout Possible Possum, where it is kind of a very almost relaxing watch, even though they're in potentially a fast-paced situation. It's quite an unusual experience, but it works very well. Possible Possum and his friends find out that there is a new shipment of dill pickles at the general store, and they go down there to find them, and the store owner tells them that they can have some pickles if they go and get some of the goods for the shop from the train. So they go to this train, but they're not going to carry the loads themselves. And I'm kind of starting to, obviously only 2 episodes in or 2 cartoons in, I'm only starting to get to know Possible Possum as a character. And I wonder if he ends up finding possible solutions for different kind of situations in ways that make his life easy. That's definitely what I'm getting from this, because he finds a way to make it easier to get the goods from the train, and it involves another character brought in. I won't say any more than that, but it was definitely an interesting narrative. It was quite a pleasant experience. The animation quality is very nice. It is quite slow, but at the same time, it's kind of gentle. On the one hand, the action is moving quite quickly, but the experience doesn't make me feel like I'm having to constantly throw my eyes from scene to scene or from frame to frame to keep up with it. And I think that actually works really well. It is very different. There will probably be other cartoons out there where we have quite fast-paced action, but animated in a way that's quite slow. It's an unusual experience, and it's hard to describe. I'm probably not doing it justice. But if you're curious about that, check it out. And in fact, I recommend it. I think the characters are going to be really interesting to get to know. Obviously, I don't know them too well at this point, but Possible Possum seems like a very complex character, but one that I rather like. I don't know what the importance of dill pickles is. Maybe it comes up time and again. Again, I will find that out in due course. But based purely on this one, I'd say it's a pretty well-written narrative with a decent pacing, decent structure, interesting cast of characters, and generally quite a pleasing animation style. So I have no complaints. It's maybe a little bit strange, but I liked it. Fright is a decent beginning for Possible Possum, a good second episode for me to have seen, and one that I'm happy to recommend.